Good afternoon and thanks for joining me on Sunshine Reports. My name is Remy Allen. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa emphasized the determination of his administration to sustain efforts at promoting the welfare of residents of the state is unwavering. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who hosted the leadership of the Federal University of Technology, Akure FUTA, said no efforts will be spared towards making life more worth living for all residents of the state while securing their lives and property. The governor appreciated the FUTA community for recognizing his passion for the welfare of workers in the state with the Award of Excellence bestowed on him as workers-friendly governor. Government Health correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The Vice-Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure FUTA, Professor Adenike Oladiji, led the delegation of the management staff of the institution to the governor's office in Akure on a visit to Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa in a bid to strengthen the relationship between the Citadel of Learning and the Ondo State government. Professor Oladiji commiserated with the governor and people of the state over the passing of former governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and APC governorship aspirant Paul Akintelure. Professor Oladiji, who described Governor Aiyedatiwa, a worthy successor of the late governor, also wished him well and appealed to him to help overcome some challenges facing the institution, including security and road infrastructure.
We want to feel your presence, we want to feel the manifestation of the good works you are doing around the FUTA community. Oftentimes, our students bring up issues that we think the state can assist us with. For example, they talk about security around the campuses, the communities where they stay. We also have a burning issue that we are representing to the state government. We are bringing it up again because we can see that you are an action government. The roads leading to the university, both the south gate and in front of the north gate, they have continued to be like a death trap.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who described the death of his predecessor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and APC governorship aspirant Paul Akintelure as colossal losses to the state and the nation, recanted his experiences and political journey with both men. The governor thanked the FUTA community for the honor done him with an award of excellence as workers-friendly governor.
You want to motivate them, you want them to want to deliver. You pay them on time. And for us in Ondo State, we have been doing that. All the areas that previous administration, were owing the workers and they cleared. And even the cash award that was instituted by the federal government, we ensure that even though we have a link pulse, we ensure that we pay all our workers in the state.
Aiyedatiwa promised his administration's readiness to assist the institution to overcome some of the challenges facing it.
The primary function or mandate of any government is security of lives and property and the total well-being, welfare of the people. And that is primary. And we believe so much in that and we will continue to give that to our people. Not just indigents, even residents like you. Even though you're supposed to be an indigent. So we need to provide that for everybody, including those who are visitors to the state. As long as they are on our soil, we will continue to extend that protection to everyone.
He appreciated the efforts of the institution and its leadership towards developing the state. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
In the same vein, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa says collaboration between the State Command of the Nigeria Immigration and the state government is key to ridding the state of illegal migrants. Aiyedatiwa, who received in audience the new leadership of the State Command of the Service in Akure, promised to provide enabling environment for risk operations towards curbing crimes associated with illegal migration. The governor was honored by the command with an award of excellence for promoting impactful governance in the state. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole again completes the story.
The new leadership of Ondo State Command of the Nigeria Immigration Service was led to the governor's office in Akure by its new comptroller, Grace Adeoye, to meet minds with Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa on how to further advance the state's development. Adeoye, who commiserated with the governor over the demise of former governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, appreciated Aiyedatiwa for the state's interventions in the command. She highlights the roles of the command in societal development aside the issuance and production of traveling passports.
We are also looking into smuggling of migrants, and we have that department with us. Formerly, it was anti-human trafficking that deals with human child labor and the like. But now it has extended more than that one, and that's why we call it smuggling of migrants. If any such case is brought to us, we know how we handle the case. And I have my officers at the local government areas where they can identify the foreigners in our midst.
The comptroller also listed some of the challenges facing the command, including operational vehicles and absence of functional power generating set. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa welcomed the new comptroller to the Sunshine State and appreciated the service being rendered by the command, especially efforts to curb activities of illegal immigrants.
I don't know the records of how many of such persons we've been able to identify in our local governments and various local governments where we have the largest number of such cases. Sometimes it's good for us to have it as a government so that we can also be very, very alert, because the primary function of any government is the security and welfare of the people. So if we know some of these things, if we have the data from time to time, the office can furnish us with it, it will help us with it, so that the Attorney General office can always look at that, because that is illegal immigrants, illegal migration. Because sometimes when crimes are committed by some of these people, it's very hard to track such people. But if we have records, then we know how to also tackle some of them.
The governor recalled the past efforts of government to make the command more efficient and effective, especially the donation of the land where the new office complex is built. He reassured of his administration's readiness to assist the command to solve some challenges facing it, while restating his passion to make the state more conducive for residents. The event also featured the presentation of awards of excellence to the governor. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Rampant dissemination of false narratives and intentionally misleading the public have sparked deep-seated mistrust among Nigerian leaders, posing a significant threat to the nation's societal cohesion. This assertion, validated by media professionals, underscores the urgent need for corrective action. Omoriola Ungbeji takes a look at the preponderance of misinformation in the public domain and the imminent danger if left unchecked.
These are few among confirmed numerous fake news trending on social media and have become a method to stir up and intensify social conflict. This development, also referred to as misinformation to the general public, became rampant recently following the advent of social media, especially in African countries, where everyone with access to mobile phones has turned to content writer, influencer, and blogger. However, some professional journalists who know full well their services do their findings and present the right information for public consumption.
So, this is also one of the Facebook links
Deputy Director, Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, Mboho Eno, while speaking to OSRC in Akure, highlighted some dangers caused by misinformation, noting that citizens rely solely on trained journalists for credible information.
Information you're putting out as a journalist needs to be accurate, needs to be scrutinized to avoid you contributing to the pandemic of misinformation and malinformation. So it's critical to give accurate information, and that's why you also need to check, fact check, double check every information you're about to put out.
Silas Jonathan, a digital investigation manager, stressed the need for fact-checking any given information.
It can make people take wrong decisions. We see during Ebola and COVID-19 how people took salt and water hoping it would cure them. It didn't at the end of the day. Mostly because someone said it will, but it didn't. Even during COVID, we saw different cures. People were purporting that it's gonna cure COVID-19, but it didn't. So we need to fact check so we can help people make informed decisions.
Program Officer Dubawa and Center for Journalism Innovation and Development, Nigeria, Temilade Onilede, suggested some methods to adopt by journalists in reporting credible information.
As journalists, you should put verification as part of our day-to-day activities. When you get a piece of information, as journalists should critically analyze that piece of information to be sure is this accurate, how true is this? Is this a fact? When did this news or when did this information come out of the internet? So it's just something you should take as a part of your lifestyle.
They charged journalists on proper verification and scrutiny of any given information, especially as the 2024 governorship elections processes continue in Ondo State.
Being a journalist, if you are out with information that are accurate, it earns you more respect as an individual. Also, your media organization, people definitely believe, how that believe that whatever that is coming out of a medium or media organization is actually the truth, and it goes a long way to make the media credible.
No doubt, society is being faced with the proliferation of misinformation and false narratives, causing more harms to the unity of the nation. It is hopeful that collectively, stakeholders in the information and communication sector will take a decisive action through fact-checking, responsible reporting, and promoting media and digital literacy in strengthening the country's democracy. Omoriola Humbiji, OSRC News.
The Naira exchanged for as high as 1,900 Naira to the dollar in February this year. The shock from the free fall of the currency led to soaring inflation across all sectors of the country's economy.
In January 2024, the hues and cries were loud in the open market. Prices of goods and services were skyrocketing.
See now, I'm buying a carrot and cucumber. The carrot I used to buy 15 Naira. It's now 200. The onion that I used to buy 200 is now 500. So things are so costly.
To carry 5,000 and enter market. Only fish, your money don't finish. Before I use 1,000 and they cook soup. My husband would like them. Now 5,000 Naira, you go play say I throw one for inside market. If I don't have what I go do, I do more.
This soaring inflation was largely hinged on foreign exchange rates. For months now, the value of the Naira had taken a hit, exchanging at an all-time low of 1,900 Naira to a dollar in February. This, economic watchers ascribed to the CBN liberalization of exchange rates following the aggressive monetary policy tightening adopted by the current leadership of the CBN. The currency has gradually appreciated, hovering between 1,405 Naira and 1,250 Naira.
Crate of egg before 1,800, 1,005. Presently now is now 4,000 Naira. So it's too high for everybody. We heard that the dollar has dropped already, but still everything is increasing every day by day. Àwọn orí kankan tó lọlẹ̀ tó máa ra ráìsì lé ní 80,000 tó bá dọ̀là wọ́n lè sọ pé 85 90,000 ni. Ẹ wọ pálí ẹja ìbáyìí ẹlòmíì bẹ ẹyọ kan tó ń tà lójoojúmọ́ kò lè ta odidi ọjọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n máa ta pálí kan at least wọ́n ti ta pálí ẹja ní 90,000.
The situation in the open market remains the same, notwithstanding Naira's appreciable gain against the US dollars.
When you have appreciated Naira, the effect of that will also be a number of weeks, especially when the prices of these things are supposed to be coming down, just like I observed earlier. Find out that before the man who is going to import the thing, before he places his order, before the goods come, before they are cleared and they enter into the market, it's a number of weeks also. So appreciation of the Naira today does not automatically translate to cheaper purchases, because it will take a process of time before those cheaper goods, in quotes, come into the shores of Nigeria and enter into the market.
When something is 29 and it falls down to 17 naira, do you say it is significant? So, but I know if government can, there are some other areas that government can help to pushing the effects of this high cost of food by giving people palliatives, which government has been doing, by even helping farmers with loans and other tools, farming tools and equipment that they can use to farm.
Though Nigerians may have to wait a little longer before the impact of Naira's strength can be felt on prices of commodities, there are fears that other variables may hinder price stability, particularly sharp practices in the Nigerian market.
How should dollar affect man that sell garri in the market? What concerns her with dollar? Sure. Why shouldn't have problem? When the diesel that was sold 2 years ago for 280 naira per liter is now selling for 1,750. How do you want the garri to be the same price? And how do you want it to come down? The cost of production must first of all come down. And this, the only way it can come down is to let the government also take pragmatic step to make sure that for the cost of all these things, make the road to the farm, make people to stay there, make it safe for people to stay.
Yes, you might have a few that do sharp practices, but I'm saying that the cost of things generally is high and it's affecting every player in the value chain. Whilst the farmer is not getting what is commensurate because he can't afford to sell at that high price, the person who is aggregating, so to say, dictates the price to the average farmer. But we on our part, we definitely tell our people, we say we encourage them that greed in the long run does not pay. Apart from the fact that you have fewer cycles of turnover, there's a way that you get rewarded. For those who believe in God, that whatever you sow, you definitely would reap.
Before we used to have a price control monitoring body. The government can do this by going out to ensure that prices of goods are not, or services are not inflated. Government can do this, and the government has been doing this. I think I heard over the news that the committee unit has been put in place to make sure that these prices of goods are being monitored, so that the market now will not say because it's buying fuel at a high cost and go and inflate maybe a commodity that's supposed to be sold for 5 naira and go and sell it for 10 naira. So we can only appeal to their minds. So we are trying to appeal to the minds of our people that let us beat down these prices.
Regardless of the Naira regaining strength, the aggregate of opinions from stakeholders in the production value chain is that efforts must be placed on cutting down the cost of production if the prices of goods and services must crash. They also opined that Nigerians must embrace made-in-Nigeria goods for the Naira to gain more strength, thus pushing down prices of goods. Tolulope Oyebode, Osrc News.
Staff Cooperative Multipurpose Society of Orange 94.5 FM Akure has elected new officers to pilot the affairs of the union for the next 1 year. During its annual general meeting held at the headquarters of Osrc Media Group, Bola Asekunwo was retained as president, while Igbekele Ologun maintained his position as vice president. After a rerun for the position of secretary of the society, Mrs. Modupe Akinyokun was elected, having garnered the highest votes. Gbenga Oluwajana, who witnessed the ceremony, reports that other members of the ESCO include Wumi Ayenigbara as financial secretary, while Oluwafisayo Ogunmakinwa was retained the society's treasurer.
That I be honest, committed, loyal.
Administering the oath of office on them, the State Director of Cooperative, represented by his assistant, Mr. David Omotenche, said the executives should see themselves as servants and be accountable.
Cooperative all over the world, they are established in order to improve the living standard of the members. And we can see that all our members, in one way or the other, have benefited from the cooperative.
On his part, Chairman Osrc Media Group, Kunle Adebayo, represented by Orange FM Director of Finance and Administration, Richard Odofin, tasked cooperators on the attitude of saving. Cooperators, including Adeniyi Christopher and Abimbola Akinade, while expressing confidence in the cooperative's leadership, tasked them to be honest in piloting the affairs of the association.
It's not easy to start something and to expect it. Some may feel it will not last long, but with the harmony, understanding, the kind of executives we have, which we must also sustain, has really helped us go on.
Responding on behalf of the newly elected executives, the President, Bola Asekunwo, called for cooperation among members and pledged to take the cooperative to the next level.
I want to appreciate the management of Ondo State Media Group under the leadership of Mr. Kunle Adebayo for giving us the enabling environment to operate. I would like to use this opportunity to encourage all amiable members to please increase our savings so as to improve on our performances.
I also want to congratulate the new and the re-elected ESCO members. I want to charge them to do more, to do well in this their tax, and people have been appreciating them for being transparent.
Seeing what the S official has done and how people have laud praises on them, the new executive should to emulate from the previous one, so that they should do better. They should do better in terms of discharging their duties.
High points of the event including the presentation of gifts to cooperators. Gbenga Oluwajana, Osrc News.
Farmers in Ondo West local government areas of Ondo State have sent a Save Our Soul message to the state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, over alleged destruction of their farm lands by a Chinese firm. The farmers made a plea during a peaceful protest around some strategic streets in Ondo town. Osrc reporter Zimo Ebieme was there. His report is presented from our studio.
The farmers' peaceful protest, which began at Laje Road in Ondo town, took them to major streets in the ancient town and terminated at the palace of the Oshemawe, Oba Victor Kiladejo. The farmers, in large numbers, carried placards and leaves to show their grievances. They called on Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa to intervene and stop the Chinese company from destroying their farmlands and farm produce. The protest later turned to a town hall meeting with the Oshemawe of Ondo, Oba Victor Kiladejo. Addressing them, Oba Kiladejo and his chiefs appreciated the peaceful nature of their protest. The monarch advised the protesters to put their grievances in writing and promised to take it up with Ondo State government.
ló bá àjèjì títí ọ̀gá ojú lẹ́dẹ̀
Some of the farmers who spoke with Osrc also appealed to the state governor to prevail on the Chinese company from further alleged destruction of their lands and produce, as it is their only means of livelihood.
It's last week that we saw bulldozer, 8 bulldozer, and they call us that they have already buy all this land, so we should leave the place. And about 70,000 people now, where are we going to? And the crops that we are planting there, we are planting cocoa, cola nuts, plantain, yam, cassava, any fruit crop.
Our appeal to Mr. Governor is to please to allow us to continue with our farm. All our children are there, they are schooling there. We have more than 70,000 people there, residing there.
According to the farmers, the destruction affects about 24 villages and no fewer than 70,000 people.
And with that report, we conclude Sunshine Reports. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.